By the time the Canadian Empress pulls into Montreal, you know you are in French Canada. Everything really changes when you go from Ontario into Quebec, and we all know that, but it was really a delight in many ways to enter the French-speaking part of the nation and really begin to feel as though you're in the middle of Europe someplace on a European river cruise. When we went into Montreal, the first thing that we got into was rain, and lots of it. Through the pouring rain, we entered the area around the city of Montreal. Passengers were all relaxed and, like us, didn't want this trip to ever end. Now, what are you looking forward to the rest of the way?
Well, I've been all over Canada and I've never been here, so I'm looking forward to everything.
Even Montreal? Never been to Montreal?
Never been to Montreal, never been to Quebec. I don't know how I missed it, but I did, and so I wanted to do it.
So this has been, I won't go as far as to say trip of a lifetime, but good trip.
Yes, wonderful. I enjoy this. I enjoy this. Just listening to the water, looking at the scenery, finding out what all those big buildings are over there and elsewhere, what they're doing, their industry. Yes, I'm very curious about that.
Are you particularly looking forward to Montreal, Quebec City?
Yeah, I think Montreal. I'd like to see that. I'd like to maybe spend more time there, though, is the problem, but we'll see how it goes.
So you would recommend this to everybody back in Indiana?
I certainly would. Yeah, I certainly would. We've enjoyed it so far really well. We've done one other cruise. We did a schooner back in '83. I think it was '83, and we enjoyed that, a two-masted schooner up in Maine and the Penobscot Bay, and went through all the islands, and we enjoyed that, so we thought we'd try this too.
Montreal feels very European. The passengers got a chance to roam the streets for long hours and soak up the experience of being in a big city. From here, there are still 200 miles to Quebec City, with villages and plenty of sights along the way. It feels almost like a downhill run from here, with no more locks in sight and just a swift current that pushes the ship to a faster pace. From here on, it's deep into French Canada, where people even refer to themselves with the nickname of frogs. You'll hear it. It's beautiful out here on a country summer day. You have to consider yourself very lucky to live in a world with this river running right through the middle of it. And people living along the banks of the St. Lawrence know it.
The St. Lawrence, it's the seaway, St. Lawrence Seaway, with locks from Montreal to Thousand Island.
That's a long way on the river.
About 7-8 days back and forth.
So what's the most enjoyable part of that trip for you?
Being in Canada and United States at the same time. You see what I mean? One shore is American, and the other shore of the St. Lawrence River is Ontario.
Yeah. So it's beautiful and a beautiful trip. And
Yes.
did you like the Thousand Islands?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And my parents and grandparents were from the Ile Saint-Ignace.
Right across the river.
Just across the river. So I'm a real native.
Yeah.
I'm a real frog.
Yeah. Yes, you are. Seeing this river and its people is a marvelous experience. No wonder St. Lawrence Cruise Line's owner, Bob Clark, never wants to retire. He works hard, as does his ship, and both expect to be here on the St. Lawrence for a long, long time. No retirement in sight for Bob Clark.
Oh, I can't imagine ever retiring. I have a hard time with Sundays, you know. That's why I'm the bell ringer at my church. Keeps me busy. Yeah. No, I'm a workaholic, and that's fine. Right now I'm on a binge. I'm not changing that.
With St. Lawrence Cruise Lines in northeastern Canada, David Jackson, GPS Films.